So yeah, I've talked too long. I'm going to pass the mic over to my love and my best friend and my partner, Steve Robison. He's going to share a few words with you, and then after that, we'll have Marissa Hamilton. She'll do a brief presentation. We have some superintendent of instruction candidates here, and I know it's not about election, but I will tell you guys, our children are our future, and what they're doing in our education system right now, it's shameful, it's sinful, and it's evil. And I think it's as equally important to election integrity, so I wanted them to be able to share a few words with you. And then we will close this with our audit workers. I want you to hear the words from them of what they saw, what they witnessed, what they experienced, and what they felt through this process. And then we'll let you go home for the night. So I'm sorry our program ran so late, but Senator Fann had a lot of things to say and a lot of questions. So I'll turn this over to Steve.
Okay, I actually had something else prepared, and I scrapped it because honestly I'm feeling kind of radical, and I think our country is heading in a bad direction, and we are the only people that can change that. Us, the American people, we the people. So instead I'm going to actually, against being told probably it's not a good idea, I'm going to give you the speech I gave on the 6th when craziness was going on in DC. We were here at the Arizona State Capitol being radical ourselves. We didn't break into anything, but we gave our elected officials a piece of our mind. So I'm going to give that speech right now. Now remember, this was a speech that I wrote for that time, so there might be some stuff that was not relevant now, but anyway. I've spent a great deal of time trying to think of what I wanted to say here today, but I felt that I should instead address the politicians. You who we elected into office to serve us, to protect our freedom and liberty. I am talking to you. Some of you are good, and some of you are not so good. If you are one of the few good, then you are not the target of what I'm about to say, but even you should take note of this warning. From the founding of this great and powerful nation, through all the horrible atrocities and greatest of accomplishments, this country was born from a divine responsibility to form a more perfect union based on God-given individual freedom and liberty. We have yet to reach the full potential that our founding fathers had envisioned. And to think, after all we have been through together, that we find ourselves in these current circumstances. We look out to you, our so-called leaders, and wonder, can you honestly tell us who amongst you are the righteous ones? Almost none of you can honestly answer that. We cannot and will not continue in the direction that you are currently taking us. We, the people, do not want your great reset. We don't want your new world order. We don't want any more of your new deals. We, the people, want to get back to what made us great, leave behind everything that held us back, and look forward to what we can accomplish together in this land of the free and the home of the brave. Make no mistake, a new revolution is upon us. The building up is climaxing, and the hour is at hand. We, the people, must now start to separate the good from the bad, the sheep from the wolves, the statesmen from the career politicians. We, the people, are now drawing a line. On one side of this line is political doublespeak, backdoor deals, broken promises, lies, treason. And all of you who fall on this side of the line are tyrannical cowards. On the other side is principle, honor, decency, duty, loyalty to the Constitution, and to the people of this nation. The time has come for everyone to decide what side of this line you are on. Our senators, our congressmen, local governments, our sheriffs, all elected representatives, what side are you on? But we don't want you to just use words to answer this. We want to see your actions. What have you done leading up to now, and more importantly, what are you going to do starting from today going forward? Your every step, your every sleight of hand, and every single vote leading up to now is a label of your character. You have already told us who you are and what you are made of. The question is, again, what are you going to do moving forward from here? I'm calling out all elected representatives in every level of government. Consider yourselves warned. You are either with us or you are against us. There is no in between, not anymore. You have all taken sacred oaths to protect and uphold the Constitution of the United States, which guarantees we the people a Republican form of government, no matter what party you belong to. You will all be individually judged by your actions and deeds, and not by the political speech that you throw around every election cycle. We are at war for the future of this nation, and we are holding each and every one of you accountable for what happens next. History is being written, and we are all a part of it. It's time to get off the gravy train and realize that you are not a protected class after all. We can and will pull you out of office and replace you if you do not do your job ethically and constitutionally. You politicians need to wake up to the realization that any and all power that you think you have comes from we the people. Without us, you have nothing. And as a matter of fact, you need us way more than we could ever need you. If you as a politician take offense to this, then I am definitely talking to you. And I will say it again right to your face. If this makes you uncomfortable, then you are a disgraceful, treasonous coward, and I want you gone from public service.
Come on. Come on.
All it takes for evil to prevail is for good men to stand by and do nothing. I intend to do something. As I said earlier, I am still talking to you, politicians. What happens next is up to you. I am not standing here because I necessarily want attention or anything. I am not playing one of your political games like you and your colleagues do. I am speaking to you on behalf of the oath that you took and to the people that count on you to govern properly and honestly. There are audits taking place. Arizona was the tip of the spear. And hopefully all the rest of the states will follow it. The 6 main states need to really follow. Texas is coming. Actually, we've been in contact with several states, but get back to my speech here, how I wrote it. I expect each and every one of you on every level to publicly take a stand. Pick a side. Let it be known exactly who you are and what side you are on. The side of tyranny or the side of the Constitution and we the people. We will know by the actions or lack of actions you take. Then it is up to us, the good men and women of this nation, to take action against all who fall on the wrong side of that line. You are the domestic enemies we were warned about, and we will no longer stand by and do nothing. We the people will remove each and every one of you from office if we have to. If you don't want us to replace you, then do your jobs, honor your oaths, follow the Constitution, audit this election, and stand by our rightful president. Don't just talk about it, do it. We are all watching you. You have been warned. Thank you.
Back. All right, I just want to get a few things out of the way. One, our associates at the door or at the table made a huge mistake and didn't collect some of the people's tickets. When you leave, please give your contact information to us or take a card, and you can do it online at We the People Arizona Alliance to join our group. Again, there's no meetings. We inform you what's going on, give you an update what's going on politically with our state and nationally. And also, we have a call to action. I also want to know, I want to make known that if you want to watch this event online, you can watch it on MAAP, M-A-A-P, Real Talk on Rumble. That's M-A-A-P, Real Talk on Rumble. And I'd like to thank George Niemer, who recorded this. Again, MAAP, Real Talk on Rumble. Now comes the time for the raffle tickets. I'm going to pick a lucky winner. The lucky winner will get $73.50. Okay, so I am not a politician, so you know this was. The winning ticket number is on the floor. Hold on.
That's what they did, they dropped the ballots.
Shelby just said that. The balance. Okay, the number is 559106. That's 559106. Oh, it's my brother.
I would like to donate the winnings back to the cause.
What's your name?
Rachel Chase.
Can we have a big hand for Rachel?
Okay. You can't see anything. You can barely hear, but you can see a little bit. Okay, so next up, I'm going to have Marissa Hamilton with Easy Azy, and she's going to talk about how you can get involved and have your voices heard in legislative action, and a little bit about our organization. So welcome, Marissa Hamilton.
I was going to try, oh, it is working. I don't like to be tethered to a podium. My name is Marissa Hamilton. I come all the way from Phoenix, Arizona, but this is actually my original home county. My grandparents were in Yavapai County until they passed away a few years ago in Chino Valley, and they are buried in Chino Valley. I grew up spending the summers here, and right after high school I moved to Arizona because I love this state so much. We are at the point, and I'm going to keep this very short because I know that we're over time, and it's really important that we're able to take action. I think that you've seen tonight, and the reason why you're here is because we are at the point in our nation where we are at a crisis. My background is in supply chain management, and so I led a lot of the national committees to create our chain of custody and traceability standards in the supply chain. Those standards were created 10 to 15 years ago, and they were never applied to our elections. And so when we hear from the Board of Supervisors in Maricopa County that there's nothing more we can do, that this was the most perfect election that we've ever had, I have two responses to that. One, that's a bold-faced lie. We have secured our supply chain, and we can do those same things in our election integrity process. If you think about it, when you have Uber or Lyft or any Amazon, when you buy from any of these places, you have full traceability on your package, but you don't have that with your ballot. And so we need to have an election system that your ballot is at least as secure as your Amazon package. Do you agree? So I've been active in Arizona for a long time politically. Starting in 2016 is when I started becoming active because I was alerted to parental rights issues that we were having, and unfortunately that has come to our front door now, where we have schools that are becoming very tyrannical against our parental rights. And so when the 2020 election came around, it was so important to me because President Trump was the first president that took a stand for family values and parental rights. In the entire history of me being politically active. In 1997, Hillary Clinton passed a law that allows all the tyranny that we're seeing today against parents and parental rights. And that allows the state to take your children from you for any reason, and they can just call it neglect. And then you have to fight to prove to them that you're innocent. And they don't have to define anything to you. And that is why the issues that we have right now with masking, with medical freedom, with parental rights, with vaccines, why it's so important to me that we have a secure election. Because we as a society don't get to protect our family, we don't get to protect our kids, unless we have an election that you know your vote counts. So last year, I ran for Phoenix mayor. Much to my chagrin, I did not want to run for office. I wanted to stay advocating for families. But our GOP chair, Dr. Kelly Ward, asked if I would run because I used to work for Councilman Sal DeCiccio at the city of Phoenix, and I stayed very involved in those issues. It's a plus 20 Democrat district, but even with that, I was able to gain the highest percentage of votes of a Republican in 2 decades, and I was able to get the Phoenix police endorsement, which a Republican hadn't gotten in over 2 decades. And so we also caused the Katie Gallego to spend $1 million on my race in 3 months, and we stopped her from running for governor. Because she would be worse than Katie House. I know it's hard to believe that, but she would be. If you see what's happening in Phoenix, it would be clear. So after that, as soon as the election happened, our team went to work, and we took my background in the supply chain and we started auditing the election. We are the first organization to get a voter indictment on deceased voters voting. We did the review of it, and we found that there was about 400 to 450 voters out of 4,000 that were likely dead and were sent a ballot from Maricopa County. And of statewide. And of that, 33 of those voters cast a ballot and were deceased before the election started. There was about another 10 to 15 that were deceased after the election started. And so of those 43, the AG was able to identify one of those voters of who cast the vote of the deceased person and indict them. Which, for some people, they think that's not a big deal because it's just one indictment of fraud. It is so hard, first of all, to be able to prove who cast someone's ballot after they've died. So that's one thing that was huge. But 2, what matters most to me is that one vote canceled out someone else's vote that was a legal vote. And so we saw from that work of how important of just a handful of volunteers coming together could be to change our country, to make sure our elections are secure. And so we formed an organization called EasyAZ.org, and it's to make civic action easy as pie. Because we can go to all the rallies we want, we can bring all the flags that we want and get mad, and there's a time and a place for that, but it doesn't change our laws at the end of the day. And so we want to make it easy to empower you to let your legislators know what bills you want them to support to become law. Unfortunately, in Arizona, the only way that you can submit public comment is if you actually go down to the legislature and sign up at the Capitol. So what our team does for you is we go down there for you and sign you up. And my co-founder, Lisa Blankenship, she's outside when you leave. You can sign up for the request to speak system on our little form, and we will drive down back to Phoenix, sign you up, send your username and password, and make it super easy for you to participate. The way that it works is that once the legislative session starts, we will be tracking all of the bills, but especially election integrity bills. We will email you the bills and give you a very simple summary of what they are, and you can thumbs up or thumbs down the bills yourself. You can tell your legislators literally how you want to vote on the bills. So when President Karen Fann was talking about that she needs help to get the rest of those 16 full votes, that is us. That is our responsibility. That's our job. Our government is we the people. It's for, by, and of the people. But if we don't show up, it's kind of like when you're at work. If you're a business owner and you don't show up to work, do your employees put in their full effort? Probably not. If you're an employee and your boss isn't there, it's a few more breaks for many people. And so it's the same thing with our government. If we the people don't show up, then it's like if the boss is away, the mice will play. And we cannot put all of the onus on our one Senate president to direct not only the Senate but the House to do what we the people want them to do. And so we are working hard to make sure that we can make it easy as pie. We have a monthly pie club, and we would love to be able to have enough people to participate that we can do pie clubs up here in Prescott and teach you how to be effective, how to change your government. Some of the things that we've done is we worked together to do an audit of Secretary of State Hobbs' election manual draft. And it's 305 pages long. We only get a month to be able to review it and public comment. Normally, she only gets 2 to 3 emails on issues in her election manual, and many of the bad things that happen are things that are legal in her handbook. This year, we sent her 4,500 emails from our grassroots in Arizona. And thank you to President Fann. Her office actually called me and said, can you please send that to us? We want to make sure that she is not trying to override the legislature. Some of the things that she put in there was backdoor internet access to the EMS machine. After saying that we were all conspiracy theorists concerned about internet connection. Another thing she put in there was same-day voter registration. Another thing she put in there is eliminating in-precinct voting. Even though our AG won a court case to have in-precinct voting. And so the thing that we're facing, and you all know this, is that these people will lie to your face on one hand, call you crazy, call you loon, say we're a bunch of Nazis, and then at the same time put exactly the things that we said we didn't want into the law. And so it's going to take us holding them accountable, because it could have easily been that election manual went through and no one knew anything until the next election. And so this is a call to action. There is a reason why each and every one of you are here. And it's more than just to come and listen to speakers speak. It's because you care about your government, you care about the way that it operates, and you want to make sure that your vote counts. That when your children are old enough to vote, that their vote counts. And so I am pleading to you, please sign up with EZAZ so that we can get you signed up at the legislature and that you can take action. Our goal is to make sure that every voice that wants to be heard can be heard. And I promise you, it is going to take each and every one of us working together to save our state. But as we saw, it took one woman of courage to have an audit in Arizona, the only election audit in the nation and the first one in the nation. Imagine if each and every one of us continue to step up and take back our state. They will not be able to tell us no, and if they do, we will vote them out.